Hey, Rob, good to see you again.
Hey Jim, how's everything?
Everything's good. Uh,
Good.
I wanted to talk to you today about the when people call in for the quotes or you get a quote for an international move. This is something that I heard other people talking about recently. Is that number really the bottom line? How do you know if other things should be added in? Can you explain that, how it works?
Yeah, and that's a really good question, and it's really important in international shipping. The quote that we or I will supply is the quote, and we do our best. We do all of our due diligence and endeavor to make sure that we understand the needs of the client, not just the volume, but if there's anything that's special and over and above, like if they have a pool table, um, that is a certain amount of volume, but it's certainly another um, cost in terms of protecting and taking care of things like that. Glass curio cabinets, fine art, that sort of thing. So we wanted the volume,
Yeah.
the over and above things that need to be taken care of the right way, and then we provide the quote that is all pretty much all inclusive. Now there are a few things that can also stand out. The biggest one, depending on the country, there are destination terminal handling charges. And we are billed those things by the destination port.
Yeah.
And when we are billed them, we pay them, and then we pass them along to the client as an extra. But there's no profit on that. That's not a profit center. So that is one item, and it's clearly delineated. When we provide a quote, it says to ship from wherever, from San Francisco to Lisbon, Portugal, is going to be this much volume, and this service is this much. Destination terminal handling charges are not included, and we estimate them to be between this and this. This is a tight number. And
I
the
got
reason we do that, we could include them in the quote, but obviously, being we can't lose money. We're gonna estimate them at the highest possible amount
right.
and put that in the quote. So if it comes in lower, we make profit because it wasn't that expensive. So that's why we carve that out, destination terminal handling charges, and bill them exactly as they are.
Yeah.
Other than that, there are a few things with us that could pop up and the client should be aware of, but it's so small. Document fees, little, things back and forth. There's a lot of logistics along the way, and nobody does anything for free. So, but it's very small, and it's very much nothing. So,
Right.
to answer your question, when we provide a quote, we really absolutely, and any company should, endeavor to be dead accurate
Yeah.
within some margin of error, 2 or 3%, something like that. The only time it gets out of hand and expensive is if a company has, and this happened during COVID. Companies would just come in and quote a low price, like a lot of companies do, because once they have the client's items, they can do whatever they want. And they would quote a low price, and then find out that there's just no way to do it at that price. So they would store it and wait for the right ocean vessel to come along with a really low rate, let's say.
Oh,
Well, it never happened. And so it was in storage, and storage costs money.
yeah.
So now the company is going to come back to the client and say, well, we need more money. And also, I need to be paid for our storage. That kind of thing happened during COVID for sure. And it continues to happen today a little bit. But I'm getting a little into the weeds. Basically, we try to quote very much exactly what the situation is as we see it and know it.
Yeah.
And there's destination terminal handling charges that are going to be added. And those are right. There's a clear, bold line item. We estimate it between this and that. And then there are also going to be a few document fees and things like that. But essentially, the quote is the quote as long as everything, adds up.
Now, a quick question. So, let's say that somebody is with a company that's going to store their stuff for a while and wait for the lowest freight cost shipment to go out and put somebody like that who's not doing it properly. What do they provide the person? They don't have like any kind of itemized quote form? They just give them a basic number and then say, how does that
Well,
work?
Okay, you're there. You broke up for a minute, so you might have to cut that out. Yeah, so I can't speak for other companies. What I do and what we do here is provide a quote for the service, door to door, based on whatever the client's needs are. Certain amount of volume. There's also fine art, a glass curio cabinet, a
Right.
pinball machine,
Yeah.
whatever it is. And so we were very clear on what is included and what is not included.
Got it.
So you might include, stair carry or elevators, or
Yeah.
there's all kinds of different things that can come up. And that's how it's done. We do not generally don't break out every little tiny step.
Yeah.
Because that's minutia and it's not important. We're going to do the best job possible from A to B.
Right.
And this is the best price for which we can do it. But yeah, and that's how we handle things.
Yeah, that makes sense. The transparency is just so important. But
Absolutely.
I remember similar things happening here where somebody would want a car shipped up north because they didn't want to drive it. And people spend sometimes their winter months in a southern state and their summer months in a northern state. And they don't want to drive back and forth, so they put the car on a train. But the train only leaves when it has a full load with the cars.
Right.
And so you might think, oh, I should be getting my car in 2 or 3 weeks or 2 weeks. Next thing you know, it's a month and a half later, still no car.
Waiting to fill the train up. We're not going to just, you got a car in the train, go. No, Yes, exactly right.
So it's the same type of principle with less than container load, full container load, cutting costs on shipment. So yeah, it makes sense to deal with a company that is going to do everything from door to door, because that takes everything possible into account that can happen during a shipment. And that way, what you're paying for. If I have an antique cabinet and it needs special crating, of course it is, to protect it, or pinball machines or pool tables that need special care, taken apart, put back together again, then I can see all of that's going to be there in the estimate.
Right. So what I want to know when I'm speaking with a client, and I do, many meetings every single day with clients, I want to understand their needs, and the needs are, what are you moving? So I want to understand the volume. Is this LCL, less than container load, or is this FCL? I want to understand what the additional special needs might be. Is there a pinball machine? Are there glass tabletops? How much framed wall art is there? Are there statues? This sort of thing. Because I want to make sure that those are accounted for and are taken care of, prepared and taken care of the right way, so I can provide a quote that is accurate. In addition, over and above that, really, it shouldn't be much. It should be, destination terminal handling charges estimated between here and here at no profit. And then, are there nickels and pennies here and there? Sure, sometimes. But it's not like, you go to, I don't know if you've been to Vegas anytime, in the last 10 years, but that hotel that's $99 a night for 3 nights isn't $300 when you get the bill.
Yeah.
Like, how is it $700? It's 99 times 3. It's $297. So how is it $700? As well, we didn't tell you about the pillow charge and you did use the shower, so there's a water charge, bed charge, and a gym charge. I didn't go to the gym, but you could have. No, we don't. We don't do that. We're in the business of taking care of clients and getting a good review, hopefully.
Or signing up for a new cell phone plan, and then you're thinking you're going to spend $29 a month for that line, and then they add 13% more taxes on top of that when you finally get your bill.
Well, you didn't know about the city tax, the county tax, the state tax, the region tax, the school district tax, the neighborhood tax. the for no reason tax, and
Yeah.
then there's a tax on all the taxes. Huh? Next thing you know, yeah, it doubles or triples. What
Yeah.
happened? I don't like. We hate that. I don't like that at all. I
Yeah.
want to be transparent, and we really try to say, look, this is if we both understand each other and what the volume and the needs, the overall needs are door to door, let's say, are accurate.
Yeah.
This is kind of what it's going to cost.
Yeah.
That's important. People that are moving overseas, the household goods shipment
Yeah.
is one piece of sort of a big thing, and it's stressful and it's expensive, and we try to take this one piece and make it pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's not inexpensive still,
As
but we try
seamless
to
as
make it
possible. Yeah.
straightforward. There's no surprises. It's one less thing to have to deal with because there are people that are moving have lots of things to deal with, not just
Yeah.
our piece. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you guys are doing a good job. I read the reviews and people are happy, so that's great to hear. And Rob, as always, if anybody has any questions, they can reach out to you.
As always, directly, phone, email,
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
matter.
great. All right. Well, I know who I'm calling next time I move internationally.
All right. Give you a good deal, Jim.
All right. Well, I think that's it. For those of you who are watching, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, go ahead and subscribe.
Sounds good, Jim. Have a great day. All right. Bye for now.